Hello guys and welcome to tonight's video. This is mainly going to be on Yaas, but as I am an overall tropics kind of guy, we have to look at the stuff brewing on in the East Pacific right now. Now you guys are probably wondering, why am I not covering 97W and 98W? It's like I will cover those, but those are mainly going to be on a Twitter post, which I will leave the link down in the description for you guys to check out those updates. Um, I want to make these videos as efficiently as I can, so not to make them very, very long, you know what I mean? So here we are in the East Pack. We do have an area of interest here, and this is disturbance number one that has a 30% chance of cyclone development in the next 5 days. It is an area of low pressure that is expected to form several hundred miles south of the southeast coast of Mexico later this week. Environmental conditions appear favorable for some gradual development of the system thereafter, as it moves westward to west-northwestward at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Chance formation is 48 hours is 0 near 0%, and formation chances in 5 days is low at 30%. So let's see what the GFS has to say. And since this is we're looking at the tropics here of an actual developing cyclone, we're only going to go out 5 days. So as you can see, 24 hours we got a whole bunch of nothing there. 48 hours still kind of nothing. 72 hours we do see something trying to gather up here, but we'll see what the wind shear is like here real quick. I do believe this is where the thing is going to form. Only 9 knots a shear, not bad, not bad. 96 hours, as you can see, there is a low pressure sister. There's a low pressure system at 1,006 millibars at 90 hours out, and at 1,102 hours out, you can see that it's trying to consolidate now. There's 1,002 millibars, which now this is definitely a tropical storm at this point. And the wind shear is only 3 knots, so it's definitely favorable for development. 999, 994. So this is a pretty decent tropical storm here. And as you can see, there's something else trying to brew after we get done looking at that. Only 6 knots a shear. So we're just gonna leave it at this for this run, because GFS is going towards fantasy land with this during the long range, medium and long range. So we're not gonna even need to bother with that. As you can see behind it, something is trying to get going here as well. So we're definitely going to have to pay attention to this as we go out through time. All right, so here's the ECMWF, or European for short, and this was initialized at 12 ZZA. As you can see, 48 hours, there's nothing. 72 hours, nothing. 96, something tries to consolidate right in here. You can see the cyclonic flow with these wind barbs here. So there's definitely trying to percolate here in an hour and 20. It's just a disheveled mess with the European. So it's going to be a toss-up. I do think the GFS and the CMC have a pretty good idea with this system. So I'm leaning more towards the GFS and CMC for this one instead of the Euro. Just because it seems that the European is starting to have a hard time picking up on, actual, like, farther development of a system. It's got the idea for development, but it doesn't go any farther than that. As you can see, it also has the idea for the other area as well, going forward 5 days in time. Okay, with that being said, here's our main attraction. We're talking about 02B, or tropical cyclone Yaas. This is located at 17.3 north, 88.7 east. Maximum sustained winds are at 50 knots, or 60 miles an hour. Minimal surface pressure is at 938 millibars, so this is deepening rather quickly. Let's see what the Joint Typhoon Warning Center has to say, and they actually dropped the peak intensity to 70 knots, which I don't think was a good idea, because now it looks like it's really starting to get itself together now. So we're gonna have to see, what's going on, going forward. And as I projected, the significant wave heights have risen to 27 feet. It was 23 or 24 feet earlier. So these waves are really starting to get up there, and those are rolling in on top of the storm surge. So please be mindful of that going forward. All right, so here's the GEFS tracks and minimal MSLP, and you know this is spaghetti plots all over the place. Um, as you can see, most of the spaghetti plots have it going into India, so I think Bangladesh is safe from an actual landfall, but that's not going to really matter because these effects are going to be felt long and wide, far and wide. Excuse me. But as you can see, the black line, the average of everything, it starts out at 983 millibars and peaks out at 977 millibars. And this, the GEFS has this making landfall in either 24 hours or 48 hours. So I think we will obviously we want it to make landfall in 24 hours instead of 48 hours. We don't want any more time for this to try to get itself back together. So we are hoping and praying that it's only stays in the water for 24 hours, but we're gonna have to see what happens with that. All right, so here's the GEPS tracks and minimal MSLP, and as you can see, these lines are squiggly all over the place. But this one shows worse news than the GEFS. Um, Most of these want these staying out in open waters for 48 hours, and once again, we do not want that. We want this to go in as quickly as possible, which sadly it doesn't look like it's going to because it's only moving at 8 knots right now. As you can see here, the starting average here is 985 millibars, 973 millibars. I'm guessing it's going to peak out at a low 970s or high 960s. Most of these tracks show anything between 990 all the way down to 960. So it makes sense why this may peak out at 900, the high 960s. Um, I think the worst is starting to happen because this thing is starting to really get itself organized, which we will look at here right now. As you can see, all the convection is starting to wrap around the center now. It was displaced. The convection was displaced to the rest of the center because of the easterly shear, but it seems like that's starting to evade a little bit, and it's starting to, you know, fully wrap around the center here, and that's never a good thing. That will cause to rather quick strengthening on approach to India. As you can see, there's a big, blob of convection in here, and it's starting to all move in on shore to India. So we're probably getting heavy rain, gusty winds. We're probably even getting some storm surge here too. I wouldn't be surprised since it's so big in size that the power is going to spread out far and wide, and we're going to be getting storm surge on a lot of real estate here. So please stay on your higher floors, or get somewhere high. That's my point here. If you guys are experiencing storm surge, so that's all I can give you for that. All right, so here's the 18Z GFS here. And as you can see, it has a 981 millibars about 6 hours out. So let's take a look at the wind shear here for this area. Yeah, it's about 18 knots. That's enough to start, organizing a little bit. Here's 24 hours out, 977. And we got 31 knots. So that's not exactly, good for rapid intensification. 40, it makes landfall 36 hours as a 970, a high 970 category, high end category 2, according to the GFS. So 36 hours from now, landfall should occur, at least according to the GFS. So the sooner we can get this storm inland, the better. Obviously, despite how the coastline is looking, even if it was a strong tropical storm, this still would have been deadly consequences because of storm surge in the area. So as soon as it comes on land, it's going to start raining itself out here. And there's still a little bit of winds here. 72 hours, 3 days. It's starting to wind down a little bit. And 90 hours is pretty much met up with this trough here. So it's pretty much a done deal at like 90 hours. You know, all it is some rain showers pretty much in that area. All right, so here is the European. This is at 12Z today, and it has an initialization of 984 millibars. So here's 24 hours, 972, and it makes the European wants it to make landfall in 48 hours at a 977 millibar, strong category 2 cyclone. And it starts to wind down pretty quickly after that. So we got 72 hours, 3 days out is 992, 994, and then it's pretty much picked up by a trough, pretty much. And it's pretty much just a rain shower event for most of the people in India at that point in time. All right, so here, we always got to look at the sea surface temperatures because these are very important for tropical cyclone development. Um, a lot of people take the seawater temperatures for granted when it comes to storm development, but me, um, I know what these are, and this is jet fuel for any tropical cyclones, that are in these waters. And as you can see, these 26-degree isotherms like extend all the way down here to almost 20 south. So that's pretty amazing. But we're gonna be looking here. We got some 30s, 31s, and 32s popping up here, and if it wasn't for the wind shear, I shudder to think if the wind shear wasn't there, what this would actually do with these sea surface temperatures, because the ocean heat content is there, the sea surface temperatures are there. The only thing that's really holding us back right now is the wind shear, which is a scary, scary thought. Um, but for right now, obviously India is already starting to feel effects from the system. Um, if you have time to evacuate. Listen to your local management, and stay safe. That's I want you guys to come back, watch these videos with me, and hopefully watch me give you guys the latest information on hopefully the next threat that may come your guys' way. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you, no matter where you're from. I want to see everybody safe and sound, and just love, peace, and kindness. That's all that can really be said. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more updates.